How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing really good. It's a nice
cold
Sundance experience.
I was saying, as long as it's not loud in here, we're good.
Yeah, as long as it's not, everyone's screaming.
Yeah. Can you guys hear us? Are we good? Yeah. I want to make sure. So I've told you this in the past, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to be seeing the Wachowskis this weekend, and I'm going to pitch them on the importance of doing a Speed Racer Q&A screening because they have done no press on it. I need to make sure you're in. I'm putting it on camera.
Yeah, if you can get Wachowskis down, I'm up for whatever they want. They're the bosses.
Right, because I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I effing love Speed Racer.
Thank you.
Love. I mean, the movie is amazing.
Guys like you appreciating the movie, I think, is what's kind of given it its sort of second life as this like kind of cult movie.
By the way, I've said it again and again, and I'm so sorry that I keep on bringing it up. I just want to make sure people know how awesome the movie is. Speed Racer, awesome. If you need to see it, there we go. Speed Racer. All right.
But it sort of followed the destiny that the cartoon followed, which the cartoon was only on for a couple of seasons, and then over the years it became this cult classic. And the movie is really it is like Speed Racer in the sense that it's living out that Speed Racer legacy.
Let's jump into the why I get to talk to you today.
Okay.
You have a film at Sundance, 10,000 Saints.
Yeah.
You completely change your appearance in this movie. Everyone watching this will have not seen the movie yet. So let's jump into talk about who you play, how you got involved, and the look of your character.
Well, I play Johnny, who's a straight edge Hare Krishna punk rocker. So that means he doesn't drink, smoke, have sex, do drugs, anything like that. And he's also a vegan. And he's really into like Krishna consciousness. And to I guess prepare for the part, and I did some, looked into the straight edge lifestyle and adopted that lifestyle for the preparation and for the shoot. So it was challenging, like not drinking caffeine and no nicotine or alcohol or no meat, so that was a really big thing for me. And I think that I knew a guy growing up that was very similar in the sense he was like into rock and he had all these tattoos, and he was also a little bit heavier than I was at the time. He was probably like 25 pounds heavier than me. So that was something that I always thought was interesting, sort of like the Sublime lead singer who had like a little bit of weight on him too. So I sort of wanted Johnny to have that kind of body. But that was actually kind of a perfect choice for me because I found that not having any alcohol or tobacco or anything like that and no meat, like when you're eating like that vegan, your appetite really is ramped up. So I was like, the meals were like the centerpiece of the day kind of, because you're not going out, you're not.
Oh, I was gonna. Nothing.
You're not going out. You're not. Period. Reassuring myself. You're not going out. You're not. Then you're like.
Right. I thought there was another part to that.
I know. I thought that there might be, and then I decided that there wasn't.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the awkward silence that came out of me. Joke. But one of the things, though, when you have a look like that, where you have like tattoos all over you, you have the straight edge things, and you're filming, you obviously go off set looking like that. Did you notice like people, responding to you differently when you are tatted up like that?
Yeah, no, completely. You get a whole different, guys kind of treat you differently, women react differently to you, kids kind of like look at you like you're, a tiger or something. No, definitely, those are really interesting things to observe, but also, knowing that, I don't know, there was something about that I really liked about the straight edge, philosophy, because for so often for like younger kids when they go see movies, if you're like a punk rocker or if you're a tatted dude, you have to be like some crazy partying out of control person. But what Johnny represents is really somebody that doesn't have to do drugs or drink or smoke or sleep around, he doesn't have to do that, and he can still be punk rock and hardcore. And I just felt like that was a character that I haven't really seen very much in movies, and it was a kind of an influence that I feel like is a really positive influence on these kids' lives in the movie. And I think just just a positive character to have out in the ether. And I think that was one of the reasons why the character appealed to me so much and why I enjoyed playing him.
Well, one of the things about the film, like Ethan Hawke he has some great one-liners, and he's really good in it.
He's really good.
As you are as well. But one of the things I really appreciated about the film is that it is not, Ethan is playing a parent that is not just preaching, don't do drugs, and, you can't stay out. It's like the movie is filled with characters that you normally don't get in a movie. You know, like your character, Ethan's character, and talk a little bit about, you sort of touched on it, but talk a little bit about how the film has a lot of characters that act, like real people that aren't portrayed.
Yeah, I think the shades of gray when it comes to the characters are what distinguishes this particular ensemble. You have Ethan Hawke's character as a dad, lighting a bong for his son, and you don't see that in too many movies. And a lot of the characters have points of view that are totally at conflict with one another. I look at Ethan's character as like this totally off the rails dad who's out of control, and I'm the crazy punk rocker, and I'm morally disapproving of his lifestyle.
Before I run out of time with you, I believe you've been shooting or have shot some other projects. What can you tease people about what's coming up?
I just finished a project called Vincent-N-Roxxy with Zoe Kravitz, which I'm really excited about. It's sort of it's just a love story with some kind of violent undertones to it, and I think it's really interesting. And it's by this filmmaker Gary Michael Schultz. And then I worked on Craig Roberts' new film. We shot in Wales over the summer. It was just a tiny, tiny movie, but it was a lot of fun, called Just Jim. And hopefully maybe we'll take it to South by Southwest or find a home for it somewhere. But I saw a cut of Just Jim recently, and I play like this evil American guy in the movie, and it's pretty funny.
I definitely want to touch on Lone Survivor a little bit, which so many people really resonated with that film. What has it been like now that everyone has seen it and it's been out in the world? Have you had a lot of people talking to you about it?
Yeah, well, sometimes people will come up to me and say that they enjoyed the film or that they like the movie or they have family that's in the military of one branch or the other. And I'm just happy that we were able to tell those guys' story. I still have such a huge admiration for those Navy SEALs and what they go through and what their families go through. And it was crazy for me to be a part of a project like that. I've done a lot of films now, but that one became like a cultural talking point for a little while and was this kind of huge thing. So it was very unique for the things I've done, but I was just proud that I got to be a part of the movie and that Pete Berg put me in the movie. And I had a great time working with all those other actors.
It's obviously the beginning of 2015. What are you thinking about for this year in terms of, is there a genre you want to work in? Are there scripts you're reading? What are you thinking about?
I'm reading a couple of different things right now. There's sort of like a Little Miss Sunshine-esque road comedy. There's like a horror movie I'm looking at. There's also, we're trying to find a day and date to shoot Belushi at some point. That's still on the table. It's looming though. It's not like the mechanics aren't like running yet. It's just trying to find the place to make it.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, no, it's still there. It's the kind of thing that when the stars align just right is when we'll make it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to wrap with you, but I'm going to say I really hope that one comes together.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really super happy for you. Wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, Steve.